Hello, lovely viewers. You are most welcome to our channel Poetry Online. In this video, we shall be discussing how to write a standard waec formal letter for full marks. Kindly subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get updates on all our new videos. Once again, let us assure you of a very interesting discussion. Get ready for this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to say what a formal letter is, list the features of a formal letter, write a formal letter using the appropriate features. In the first place, let's ask ourselves, what is a formal letter? When we discussed informal letters, we said that they are letters written to friends and close associates. What about formal letters or official letters? What are they? Formal letters are those written to people we are not free with and who are not our close associates. Such letters include those you will write to your principal, the letters you write to your headmaster, your patron, or your headmistress. They also include business letters, thus, letters of application, or letters to a superior authority requesting for something to be done for your institution, or your club, or your group. Formal letters are also called business or official letters, and they are those often written to public organizations, business firms, government officers, the press, and letters of application for employment. What it simply means is that whenever you're writing a letter to a public organization, a business firm, a government office, or you're writing a letter to your headmaster, your headmistress, your patron, or you're writing a letter for application, that particular letter falls under the category of letters called the formal letter or the official letter. So the simple question is, have you ever written a formal letter before? If yes, what are some of the features you used? Does your formal letter include the address of the sender and date, the address of the recipient, a formal salutation, the title, the body, a formal subscription, signature and full name of the writer? If it includes all these features, then great job, you did very well. All formal letters should have the following features. 1. The address of the sender and date. 2. The address of the recipient. 3. Formal salutation. 4. The title. 5. The body. 6. A formal subscription. 7. Signature and full name of the writer. So, let's discuss them one after the other, starting with the address of the sender and date. In writing a formal letter or an official letter, two addresses are required. That is, the address of the writer and the address of the recipient. The address of the writer is kept at the right-hand corner of the sheet of paper, and it is either indented or straight. The address of the sender. This is the address of the writer. It is kept on the top right-hand corner of your sheet of paper. For example, Tamale Senior High School, Post Office Box 111, Tamale, 27th March 2022. This is an example of how the address of the sender looks like. To avoid any error in the sender's address, always make sure that you observe the necessary punctuations. Tamale Senior High School, Post Office Box 111, Tamale, full stop, 27th March 2022. The TA should not be hanging as it is presented in this video. It should be in line with all the other words in the date, 27th March, There is a comma after the month of the year. Mind you, the month of the year is a proper noun. Hence, you use the capital letter when writing it. March. Don't write it with a small letter. There is an obligatory full stop after the year, 2022, full stop. If you're also writing an address without punctuation, it should be Tamale Senior High School, no punctuation. Post Office Box 111, no punctuation. Tamale, no punctuation. 27th March, comma, 2022, full stop. Remember what we said when we're dealing with the informal letters. The date is not part of the address. Therefore, if you decide not to punctuate the address, do punctuate the date. Let's now move to the recipient's address. The recipient address is the address of the person you're writing the letter to. This is written on the left side below the date of the sender's address, or on the bottom left below the writer's address. Again, it is written on the left side below the date of the sender's address, or on the bottom of the left corner below the writer's address. The recipient address must always show the designation of the office. For example, if you're writing the letter to the headmaster, we must see that if you're writing the letter to the principal, the assemblyman, the director, or the chief executive officer, you must indicate that. For example, the headmaster. Tamale Senior High School, Post Office Box 111, Tamale. This address is showing the designation of the letter. If you're writing the letter to the principal, it will be the principal, Tamale Senior High School. If you're writing the letter to the assemblyman, it will be the assemblyman. So, your recipient address must always indicate the designation of your letter. This is very important. Also, you have to pay attention when you're punctuating it. The headmaster, comma, Tamale Senior High School, comma, Post Office Box 111, comma, Tamale, full stop. Always remember that the recipient address does not have a date. Please don't go writing a date for the recipient address. For one thing, you don't even know when the recipient will receive the letter. So, don't include the date when writing the recipient address. This is one of the mistakes candidates have been making in waec examination. The recipient address does not have a date. This is how it is expected to look. The address on the top right-hand corner is the sender's address. That is the address of the person writing the letter. Tamale Senior High School, Post Office Box 111, Tamale, 27th March 2022. Please don't let the TH of the month be hanging, as it is hanging in this case. The address at the bottom is the recipient's address. This address comes immediately after the date of the sender's address. It is kept at the left-hand corner. The headmaster, Tamale Senior High School, Post Office Box 111, Tamale. Please don't include the date in the recipient's address. Let's now move to discuss the salutation of a formal or official letter. After the two addresses, there is a salutation. The salutation of a formal or official letter is strictly Dear Sir or Dear Madam. You cannot in any circumstance salute the recipient of a formal letter with some of the salutations you use in an informal letter, such as hi, hello. You can't use such salutations in a formal letter. The salutation of an official letter or formal letter is strictly Dear Sir or Dear Madam. You are permitted to use Dear Sir or Madam if you don't know the sex of the person you're writing to. However, use either of them if you know the sex of the recipient. For example, if you're writing a letter to the headmaster, the word suggests male. Therefore, you use Dear Sir. If you're writing to the headmistress, it suggests a female. Therefore, you write Dear Madam. When you're writing a letter to the headmaster, don't write Dear Sir or Madam. If you're writing a letter to the headmistress, don't write Dear Sir or Madam. Such salutations will be marked wrong. Let's now discuss the heading or title. An official letter should always have a title, and it should be a summary of what the subject matter or theme of the letter is. The title should show what the letter is about. The heading or title makes your reader know at a glance what you are writing for. The title can be written in capital letters, small letters, and underlined, or in title case and underlined. So, this is how your title is supposed to look like. For example, request for salary adjustments, and underline it neatly. This is the capital letters. So, when you're using the capital letters, every word is supposed to be in the uppercase. Request for salary adjustments. We always advise candidates to use the capital letters because using the small letters always poses a challenge to them. Let's talk about what we mean by the small letters posing a challenge to candidates. Request for salary adjustment. Did you observe anything here? All the key words or the content words begin with a capital letter. The structural or grammatical words do not begin with a capital letter. Look at the words carefully. Request is a content word, therefore, it begins with a capital letter. For is not a content word, it is a structural or grammatical word, therefore, it begins with a small letter. Salary is a content word, adjustment is a content word, so they all begin with capital letters. So, if you decide to use the small letters, always make sure that all the content words begin with a capital letter and the structural or grammatical words do not begin with a capital letter. Always remember that if you are using a computer, you can bolden your title so as to make it stand out clearly. But in examination, you are writing, you're not using a computer. Do not use your pen to deepen your title in an attempt to make it stand out. No, don't bolden your title. Also, our headings must be interesting and captivating enough to arrest our readers. The title should be concise and precise. What it simply means is that your title should be short. Your title must express a full meaning. Your title should not be ambiguous. Do you know that if your topic is interesting, it encourages the examiner to continue reading what you have written? And if your topic is very boring and uninteresting, the examiner will not like to read your letter. Also, a good topic must be devoid of ambiguity. A good topic must have only one meaning. Don't write a topic that has several meanings. This will make the examiner confused as to what your body will be talking about. Whenever the examiner reads your title, the examiner should be able to predict what the letter is all about. Please avoid ambiguous titles. So, the title or heading should always come below the salutation like this. Dear Sir, comma, application for assistance to rehabilitate the school library. This is how your title should appear. It should always come below the salutation. Then we move to the body of a formal or official letter. The body of an official letter or a formal letter should be arranged logically in paragraphs. Avoid the use of slangs and contracted forms of words like haven't, ain't, wasn't, can't, and I will. All these are not allowed in an official letter. Do not use slangs and contracted expressions in your official letter. Do write words in full, like have not, cannot, I will. Do not write contracted expressions. Neither are you expected to use jargons in an official letter. You can only use jargons if such jargons are central to the understanding of the subject matter. The tone must be formal. Keep to the point and write what is directly connected with the object of your letter. There is a need for an introductory paragraph which summarizes the purpose of the letter. The introductory paragraph is not devoted to be talking about irrelevant issues like asking about the personal life or health situation of the recipient. No, such introductory paragraphs are only relevant in an informal letter. But when we are writing a formal letter, we don't use such introductory paragraphs. The rest of the body of your official letter or your formal letter is devoted to raising the major issues in your piece of writing. This means that in each paragraph, you state your topic sentence and develop the paragraph using other support sentences. Please, pleasantries are not allowed in a formal letter. Don't go asking about your recipient's personal life or health. Go straight to the point. You can use the following introductions depending on the kind of letter you're writing. For example, in reply to an advertisement in a newspaper, you can use, with reference to your advertisement in the Daily Graphic or any newspaper, you can mention that. With reference to your advertisement in the Ghanaian Times of 10th May 2010 for applicants or applications to fill a vacancy or for the post of the secretary, the post of the cleaner, the post of the manager, the post of a sales girl in your department, your office, your company. I hereby apply, or I wish to apply, or I wish to apply for the post. Please don't write all of them. You can just pick one and write it. Also, you can equally write, I would like to be considered for the post of a cleaner, or I would like to be considered for the post of a secretary in your department, in your establishment, in your school, as advertised in the Daily Graphic, or as advertised in the Ghanaian Times. When you're writing a letter of request, you can use introductions like, I shall be grateful, or I shall be most grateful if you could offer me admission, or you lay down your request, I shall be grateful if you could blah blah blah, or you can write, I will be grateful if you could, then you put your request there. If you're writing a letter of apology, such letters may begin with the following, I regret, I am sorry, I apologize for, I wish to apologize for my inability, for example, for what happened on the reopening day. Please, when you're writing a letter of apology, don't go writing, I am very happy to write you this letter. Such introductions are not appropriate. Then, when you're writing a letter of reporting good news, you can use, I am pleased, I am happy, I am delighted to inform you that. Good news. You're writing a letter to report good news. Please, don't use words like I am sad. Such introductions are not appropriate. Within the body of your letter, we also expect you to conclude your piece of writing. This calls for a concluding paragraph in which you reinforce all the salient issues you raised in your letter. The concluding paragraph serves as a summary which winds up everything you have written. So, this takes us to the subscription. The appropriate subscription for a formal letter or an official letter is yours faithfully. Please, don't go and be writing your students. If you're writing a letter to the headmaster, don't write your students. The subscription of a formal letter is yours faithfully. You must note that yours begins with a capital letter. The Y of yours begins with a capital letter, but faithfully begins with a small letter. This is yet another mistake that candidates always make in waec examination. Please, yours begins with a capital letter. Faithfully begins with a small letter. An official letter or a formal letter should end with a signature and full name of the writer. This comes immediately after the subscription. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.